Technically, Bremen is far from Indy, but for Whiting, it's just 2 exits away. The Oilers running attack led by Tom Davenport and Nino Barbosa hope to provide the fuel for at least one more stop. But here at Bremen, they plan to be more than a speed bump. The running of Nathan Mullen and the passing of Ryan Caldwell accelerate the offense, and Justin Zumbrin and the Bremen defense put on the brakes for opponents. Who drives on? Who heads home? Bremen and Whiting in the 2A Regional next on 46. The closer you get to playing indoors on Thanksgiving, the worse the weather gets. You are looking at the frozen tundra of Don Bungie Field, where tonight it's the Class 2A Regional between the undefeated Whiting Oilers and the Bremen Lions here on the 46 Game of the Week. And how you doing, everybody? Yeah, we're all bundled up between the Hall of Famers, Bob Nagel and Bo Hunt. It's Chuck Freeby. Great to have you with us, and I know you're a lot warmer right now than we are wherever you may be watching. Bob, the Whiting Oilers come in with a record of 12-0. Jeff Kane's team, ranked number 6 in the state of Indiana. They have a versatile rushing attack and a defense that'll just pound you.
And they have a veteran coach who knows what this is about. When he has a good team, they get great results. They are very good on defense, holding teams about 6 points a game. They're very good on special teams. Then you say, well, maybe their offense isn't that good. Hey, guess what? They've got a couple of outstanding running backs. Barbosa is a man. He's going to get in there and he's going to thump you every down. Davenport is outstanding. This is a very good team, and I think their head coach has them ready for today's game.
Probably the senior numbers. I said we got really good leadership out of our seniors. Kids have been doing a real good job. I said they bought in, not so much this year, but last 4 years. I said these kids have worked hard to get to this point, and we're really pleased with the group. I said our underclassmen are, pitching in where it needs to be pitched in, but 16 kids in a group for a program of our size, I said it's pretty good for us.
The composition of Bremen's team very similar to Whiting. 16 seniors on the roster, most of who start. And you take a look, the numbers maybe not impressive as Whiting's, but boy, they've done a great job this year under Jordan Leeper.
Well, I love what they're doing as far as the balance goes. Caldwell is a very good passer. He's also a pretty good runner if he has to, but they don't want him getting hit. Mullen has been outstanding as a running back and a great story into himself. But the thing that really excites me about this Bremen team is the size and the depth of their wide receivers, tight end wide receivers, even Mullen. It gives them about an average of 6'2" and 200 pounds catching the ball. They've got speed, they've got strength. If they get loose on a night like tonight, it'll be a big opportunity for Coach Leeper.
Well, Coach Leeper talked before the game about what a win tonight would mean.
It'd mean everything to me, but more importantly, it'd mean everything to the seniors. This is why we do this, and to watch kids succeed and put them in the position to succeed, and hopefully we can do that tonight.
Bo Hunt joins us on the sidelines tonight. You made a living, my friend, in games of conditions like tonight. So let me ask you, what do you have to do to play well in snow and frozen ground?
I think the biggest thing is you got to put it out of your mind and not think about it. Go out there and just do the X's and the O's that you've been doing all the week. And I talked about in the 46 picks, you got to be focused. And that's the main simple. Come out here, the task at hand, know what you're doing, know what you have, know what's on the line. Don't think about next week. Don't think about the possibility of playing in the state championship. Think about tonight. Think about what it means to your teammates to win a regional championship on your home field in front of your home crowd.
For fans and broadcasters, this kind of weather ain't any fun at all. But if you're a football player, man, you live to play on nights like this. We'll see who gets to the regional championship and who is headed home. The Jordan Auto Keys to win our next on the 46 Game of the Week.
WHME TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week. Brought to you by Thor Industries, Bethel College Admissions, Teachers Credit Union, Bill's Heating, Jordan Auto Group, IU South Bend, Electrical Workers Local 153, JV Macri Orthodontics, Crown Trophy, Imagineering Finishing Technologies, and the IHSAA.
This edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week is being brought to you by the Jordan Auto Group. Simple, easy, stress-free. Welcome, everybody, to the Bellman Oil Company pregame show. You take a look at the Whiting Oilers across the way, getting ready to do battle with the Bremen Lions in this Class 2A regional. It's time to look at our keys to win, and they're brought to you by the aforementioned Jordan Auto Group. And for the Whiting Oilers, they've got a 1-2 combination on offense. Their outside running back is Nino Barbosa, and he's done a little bit of everything this year. He's run for 13 touchdowns. He's caught 5 TD passes. He's had 6 returns as special teams and a couple interception returns for TDs as well. He can do a little bit of everything. And then when they need those hard yards inside, they turn to Tom Davenport, 6'1", 242 pounds, and a senior. Davenport has run for 780 yards and 18 touchdowns. The keys to win for Jeff Kane's Whiting Oilers.
Well, Chuck, he says they really need to control the line of scrimmage, and he means that on offense and defense. That'll be a key for the game tonight. Also, they got to win the turnover battle. That could be a big factor tonight if somebody puts it on the ground. And they have to eliminate penalties. Don't beat yourself. You got to take care of business. You got to stay focused. It's a big ball game for this coach, Jeff Kane. He's in his 25th season, a record of 194 and 82.
Quickly for the Bremen Lions, as we take a look at their key players, they are led on offense by the quarterback, Ryan Caldwell, a dual threat player. He has thrown for only 1,448 yards, but 20 touchdowns this year. He's also rushed for 535 yards and 7 TDs. And then when they need those hard-earned yards up the middle, they turn to Nathan Mullen, the 6'2 senior, has rushed for 1,256 yards and 17 touchdowns this year. The keys to win for Jordan Leaper's Lions.
Well, the Lions need to be physical and aggressive. They got to set the tone and do it right from the start. They have to be defensively disciplined. They got to know where Barbosa and Davenport are at all times. They got to tackle as a group, all in, all night long. Jordan Leaper, in his 3rd season as head coach, 22 and 12.
Our weather report tonight brought to us by Woody's Supermarket. 15 minutes ago, that's the way it looked here at Don Bungie Field. You would have thought we were in the middle of the Polar Express. 29 degrees, the wind out of the west at 14. They tell us it's a 20% chance of precipitation. The picture might tell you otherwise.
And it has subsided since that picture was taken, and now it appears to be clear, but it is cold, it is windy, and we are ready to go. Bremen will kick off to Whiting, and here to call tonight's regional championship game. He's not as warm as he used to be, but we still love it. Here's Chuck Freeby.
Our first quarter tonight brought to us by the Auto Park Ford of Bremen. And our stream brought to us by Lori Sumter of Phil Hahn and Associates. Colin Kerr gets ready to put toe to leather. We're underway in the regional championship with a line drive kick that's taken at the 20-yard line. Whiting working it up the field and getting to the outside. Look out! All the way to the 43-yard line. Getting knocked out of bounds for Whiting. That is Christian Carroll on the return, and he was terrific, and so too is Nino Barbosa. You take a look at the numbers on Barbosa this season, and he's been spectacular. 48 career touchdowns, 44 career wins for number 10, and this year 895 rushing yards, 10 interceptions, and he scored 26 touchdowns in 6 different ways.
Carroll did a nice job there, got it down. They got to mark it at the 46. Carroll is one of those guys. He's not maybe their top 1 or 2, but he's certainly in that top 5.
They'll run out of the wing tee with Stephen Connolly as the quarterback right now in the shotgun. He gives it to Nino Barbosa, trying to get to the outside, and Barbosa cuts it up the field and finally goes down out of bounds after a pickup of about 6 or 7 on the play. Let's meet the Whiting offense. We told you about Davenport and Barbosa. Connolly's done a good job in his junior year quarterback. Carroll can be explosive. Knight, the favorite receiver. 4 of those offensive linemen are seniors. The only one who's not is the big 344-pound tackle, Nathan Terrazas. It's 2nd and 5. Barbosa gets the handoff again, knifes his way through the hole and gets about a yard short of the first down marker. In fact, they may have given it to him on the dive forward. We'll wait and see as we get a chance to meet the Bremen defense, brought to us by our friends at the Wooden Peel. Sam Huffman's had a really nice year along the defensive line, which has been stout. The linebackers outstanding. Bryce Wogeman, the leading tackler, and you see Justin Zumbrun with 7 interceptions. 3rd and less than a yard for Whiting. They'll give it to Davenport. The big back slams off the right side and has the first down and more as he finally gets down to the 23-yard line of Bremen. Well, they'll say he went out of bounds at the 25, but it's good enough for an Oiler first down. You'll get another look courtesy of Bethel College admissions as he goes for 11 yards on the play. Got some pretty good blocking on the outside that time.
Got some good body lean going forward. You got to wrap them up. We said Bremen's going to have to be all in on every tackle, and they needed to be there.
Connolly again from the gun. Hands it off to Davenport. He's submarined after about a 2-yard pickup that time. Coming over and knocking him off his legs was Robert Mudica, the senior defensive tackle, making his 44th stop of the year. Only a pickup of 2 that time for Davenport, who came into the game with 780 yards rushing, including 3 100-yard games. It's Connolly carrying behind a convoy of blockers. Connolly strung out to the outside and knocked out of bounds at about the 19-yard line. It looks like is where they're going to spot it, and that would put him about 4 yards short of the first down marker.
Chuck, one of the things that Whiting has done already in this ball game is they've given the ball to 3 different ball carriers, including the quarterback Connolly on that last carry.
Now, Stephen Connolly has improved a lot this year. His confidence has grown quite a bit. He's got lots of tools, and it would not be beyond him to throw here on 3rd and 4, but typically Whiting likes to keep it on the ground. And they will with Davenport off the right side, and he gets stacked up and sent back. Wyatt Pollard there for the Bremen defense, and they'll force 4th and short for Whiting. Here's another look courtesy of Bethel College admissions, and Pollard was waiting right there for Davenport, even though Davenport tried to cut it back to the inside. Bryce Wogeman also in there on the stop.
It wasn't until the 4th, 5th player got in there that they were able to take him down.
4th and 2 from the Bremen 17. 9:38 to go, first quarter. The fans rattling the bleachers. That's why that time camera is jumping. And there's Connolly trying to get to the 15. Didn't make it. Wogeman holds him down, and Bremen holds on 4th down. Bryce Wogeman with a big-time stop on 4th and 2. You get another look from Bethel College admissions. And the Bremen defense knew they were going to try to slam it off the right side, and Wogeman came in behind those blockers and made the stop.
Barbosa went down short of the first down. What a big, big start to the game for Bremen and that defense.
So the Bremen offense takes over for its first possession. 1st and 10 at its own 16-yard line with Ryan Caldwell at quarterback. We mentioned the senior, a dual threat. He's got Nathan Mullen behind him in the backfield. Mullen the tail of the tandem. And they'll give it to the big fellow off the right side, and look at Mullen. Mullen explodes through the hole. Barbosa finally brings him down at the 35. That's good for 19. And man, that's nothing new for Nathan Mullen. He has had a spectacular 2018 season. The big fella with 1,256 rushing yards and 18 touchdowns. You look at his magnificent career. 47 career TDs and 30 career victories in the green and white of Bremen.
Big, big start for Bremen. Get him out of the hole back there. Now you're out where you can run your whole playbook.
1st and 10 from the 36. It's Mullen again, breaking through tacklers. They finally wrap him up and take him down at the 41, maybe the 42-yard line. Pickup of a couple on the play as we meet the Bremen offense, brought to us by the Pizza Hut here in Bremen. Well, we've told you all about Caldwell and Mullen, but Jake Wonder capable of running the ball. Justin Zumbrun, the leading receiver on this team. This offensive line keeps getting better and better. Wyatt Pollard and Brennan Adams, 2 of the better linemen in that group.
Zumbrun, Kerr, and Huffman. Boy, those are some big receivers for Caldwell. Nice targets to have.
6-yard pickup on 1st down. It's 2nd and 4. Wonder, the fullback, gets it. Quick hitter up the middle, and Whiting stuffs him at the 45-yard line. Pick up a 3 on the play. Let's meet that Whiting defense. It's been solid all season long, led up front by Emiliano Rodriguez. The linebackers, I really like Bach and Torres on the inside of that group. And then in the secondary, Barbosa with 10 interceptions and 2 fumble recoveries this season.
I mentioned that both teams have players going both ways. It would be more of an effect if it was 85 degrees in August. It's not. Shouldn't be that big of a factor tonight.
Bremen looking at a 3rd and 1, Whiting with a 5-man front. Caldwell gives it to Mullen, and he goes right up the middle and gets the first down up to the 47-yard line. The first down sponsored by our friends here at Bremen High School. And Mullen moves the chains with a 2-yard run. A little bit of over pursuit by Rodriguez that time at the defensive end gave Mullen the space he needed.
He was trying to get to a corner, but there wasn't a corner because the defensive end went wide, but that gave him a gap to turn it upfield, and he knew he needed 2. He didn't need to get to the end zone right there, just need to move the chains.
First possession for the Lions after stopping a Whiting scoring threat back at their own 16-yard line. Sam Huffman, the tight end, sets up over on the left side. They run that way with Mullen, who cuts it inside, and Whiting pursues well and keeps him to a gain of 1 on the play. Boy, real good pursuit that time by the Oilers. Coming in to make the stop was Zach Williamson, who's playing a little bit of free safety tonight.
Chuck, one of the things about getting the ball at your own 15-yard line, you have a license to put together an 85-yard drive if you want. Use up a lot of clock, maybe get on that scoreboard first.
2nd and 9. We have not seen Caldwell throw the ball yet tonight. He's throwing into the wind if he decides to do it here. And the young quarterback gives it to Mullen, running off the right side. Mullen explodes through the hole. Barbosa finally hauls him down at the 26. A big pickup for Mullen of 26 yards on the play. It's a first down sponsored by Bremen High School. And you get another look from Bethel College admissions. Look at the blocking here up front. Wonder really sprung him with that one, and Zumbrin on the outside as well.
Outstanding blocking. We talked early on about how effective it looked at Whiting was going to be, where you had to bring 2 or 3 guys up to make the tackle. I got a feeling that Mullen probably was hit by 6, maybe 7 guys on that carry.
Didn't seem to bother him. 1st and 10 at the 26. Mullen cut it back inside that time and managed to get 3 or 4 yards on the carry. And Nathan Mullen having no problem being the workhorse in the early going here. John Bach, the linebacker, one of our student athletes of the week, brings him down at the 22.
You think about what that young man went through during the offseason, getting himself ready to play, getting himself healthy enough to play, and I tell you what, that's what he wants. He wants to be the workhorse in a game like this.
Well, Mullen had to bring himself back from a shoulder surgery last year, which cost him all of baseball season. He's an outstanding baseball player here at Bremen. 2nd and 6, and they'll give it to the big fella again. Dancing off the left side, and Mullen picks up about 3 on the play, takes it up to the 19. Well, Jeff Kane, before the game, when he came over to do his pregame interview, I asked him what stood out about Bremen, and he says, man, I was standing next to 24, and folks, that's a man. And when you've got a guy like 33 Tom Davenport on your team, and you give that kind of compliment to Mullen, that's a huge compliment.
61 yards on the night already for Mullen.
He's been the hammer in this drive. 3rd and 3. First possession of the game for the Lions. From the I formation, guess who gets it again? But this time he's stacked up. Rodriguez and Bach come over to make the stop. And decision time now for Jordan Leeper. Whiting trying to say they have the football, but Chuck Henry and this veteran officiating crew marked it down at the 18-yard line. This is pretty much vintage Whiting football, trying to attack the ball, just as we talked about in the 46 film room this week, trying to strip it away from Mullen, and Bach was really prying at it there, and it may have popped loose, but the question is, when did the whistles blow?
Exactly. I think the whistles had blown. You're going to say it's 4th and 1.
Whiting could not convert a 4th and 2 down at the other end. Can Bremen do something on 4th and 1? Play clock at 1. They just do get it off. Caldwell on a bootleg. Caldwell's got the first down. Oh, what a beautifully executed bootleg by Ryan Caldwell. Shades of Ian Book against Northwestern for the Irish.
And Chuck, as soon as he knew that he had the first down, he didn't think about throwing it anymore. He tucked it and ran. He had the first down. That's what he needed. That's a heads-up play. Got it down to about the 9-yard line. Gain of 8.
So 1st and goal for the Bremen Lions. Lane Moser, the freshman, with a pretty nice block on the outside that time, as did Robert Mudica. Bryce Wogeman now joins Mullen in the backfield, but it's Mullen on the carry. He had the legs taken out from under him at about the 3. Joel Torres, the linebacker, comes over to make the stop for the Oilers. And Bremen will go to tempo here and try to catch Whiting confused. They did. Mullen off the right side towards the end zone. Didn't quite get in. He stopped at the 1. Looks like there could be a flag down on the play. We'll see. Chuck Henry and his officiating crew may have seen a 12th man on the field for the Oilers.
Well, that's what Bremen maybe saw on film. Maybe they're going to get in a goal line situation. They're going to run a couple big guys on. See what the call is here. Chuck Henry, what a job he has done.
That is an illegal participation penalty against the Oilers, and I would imagine Bremen would take the penalty, save the down, because the penalty is about the same as the yardage they got on the play. So at half the distance to the goal, they'll spot the ball down inside the 3, but it's 2nd and goal. You see the clock in the bottom right-hand corner of the Thor Industries scoreboard, and whistles blown and flags thrown as this one gets underway.
Well, when you go in half the distance, offsides, another half the distance goes from the 2 to the 1. How many half the distance penalties do you have to score, Chuck?
Oh, you can't get it in that way. Chuck Henry joined by Al DeRue, Aaron Kozik, Todd Baum, and Jamie Pluta. This crew hoping that they get to go to Lucas Oil Stadium as well. They are eligible this year to work a state final.
Done a nice job, not only this year, but just since we've known Chuck as a referee, really elevated his performance.
2nd and goal at the 1. They give it to Wogeman, it looks like. And is it Wogeman or Wonder? It's Jacob Wonder with the touchdown, and Bremen is on the board. Jake Wonder with his 8th touchdown of the season. The 6-foot senior slams it in from the fullback position, and Bremen draws first blood. The touchdown sponsored by Erica Lehman with Remax Oakcrest Realty. What a drive by the Bremen Lions. The snap a little slow, but the kick is up, and Colin Kerr bangs through the extra point. 54-57 on PATs this year. An 85-yard march to pay dirt by the Lions. Nathan Mullen did the bulk of the work. Ryan Caldwell converted on a key 4th down. And then Jake Wonders no more. He's in the end zone, and Bremen's in front on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week is brought to you in part by Thor Industries, the world's largest RV manufacturer.
Boy, the Bremen bench, all the fans pretty excited. They went 85 yards in 13 plays, took 6 minutes and 40 seconds off the clock. And boy, just 2:46 left here in the first quarter. Bremen's on top 7-0, exactly what you'd want to have in that first possession. While we get ready for the kick, I want to tell you that the Wooden Peel is a great place to stop before and after the game for great food. The Wooden Peel is looking to add to their staff. Must be at least 16 and able to work nights and weekends. Stop in for an application. A big thank you goes out to the Wooden Peel for feeding our TV 46 crew tonight. Great food. Thanks a lot to the Wooden Peel. They say go Lions.
Colin Kerr's squib kick still on the ground, finally picked up by Whiting and returned into Bremen territory by Joel Torres to the 48-yard line. So a great job by the Whiting special teams again. But it's this defense that's been the talk of Whiting this year. They've only given up 6 points a game, so Bremen already passed that. Whiting second in the state coming in, only behind that juggernaut out of Royal Center called Pioneer.
Heard about him.
So for the second possession of the game, Bremen once again starting in plus territory. Stephen Connolly at quarterback. A little razzle-dazzle here. They try to give it to Christian Carroll, and he bounces to the outside. Carroll back inside and picked up 8 on the play when he probably should have had nothing. Carroll, a senior, had 131 yards and 3 touchdowns in their opener against Hammond Clark. Hasn't had as many touches as of late. Jeff Kane indicated that might change this week, and they find a way to get it to the speedy Christian Carroll on the outside.
He had a good kick return with the opening kick and a good carry there for about 8 yards.
2nd and 2. Looked like there might have been 2 men in motion, but no flag, and Nino Barbosa takes advantage, gets to the outside, and Barbosa slams his way to the 25-yard line for an Oiler first down, a pickup of 15 on the play. Here's another look at this one from Bethel College admissions, and look at the convoy he had in front of him. Tom Davenport with the big block on the outside on Evan Mangus. It was Justin Zumbrin who saved the touchdown. They'll spot it at the 22. That's a pickup of 18. Everybody consulting the wristbands to figure out the play. Barbosa, the deep back behind Connolly. And it's Barbosa again on the right side, tried to cut it inside, but Bremen with good pursuit that time. Coming over to make the stop was the defensive end Wyatt Pollard, who has had a fine season with 44 tackles.
Still a good carry for about 4 yards. 32 yards on the night now for Barbosa.
2nd and 7 as we get into the final 90 seconds of quarter number 1. Davenport now the tail of the group. But it's Connolly keeping it himself with Davenport as a lead blocker, and Stephen Connolly weaves his way for a first down. As he finally steps out of bounds, they'll spot it up around the 12-yard line. Chuck Henry is going to ask for a measurement here to make sure of the first down.
Helping you find your next vehicle is only the beginning at Auto Park Ford of Bremen. They offer auto repair service after the sale, as well as car buying experience that's satisfying, worry-free, and at your convenience. Haven't you heard? Fords truly cost less in Bremen. Auto Park Ford of Bremen, proud supporter of high school athletics and the Bremen Lions. Go Lions.
About 4 links short of a first down as we welcome our viewers on Facebook Live tonight. Lori Sumter at Phil Hahn and Associates sponsoring the stream. Glad you can watch us wherever you might be watching in the world. Make sure you list your comments there at Facebook Live. Let us know where you're watching from tonight. We've had people watching from overseas this year.
That's right.
So,
and from Florida, we're told, and out in Arizona.
So that's great to hear. Probably warmer there than it is here tonight.
Just going to say, I think both of those places will be just a tad warmer than we are here tonight.
Whiting looking at 3rd and inches. The wind at their backs with 1:12 to go here in the first. And the Bremen fans trying to support their defense here on a key 3rd down play. Davenport, right side. Davenport spinning to the 5-yard line and an Oiler first down. Tom Davenport, 6'1", 242 pounds, and a senior. Jeff Kane describes his running game as a truck that goes down the middle and a Mercedes that can go on the outside. Well, folks, that was the truck right there.
Well, they got first down and goal at the 4-yard line. We're still in the first quarter, but down to just a few seconds.
And it's Davenport again trying to get to the outside. Pollard in good pursuit. A flag came in as Davenport dove for the goal line. There may have been a face mask in there. We'll wait to see what the call is. It was Al DeRue, the veteran, who threw the flag.
Well, if it's a face mask, it can't be worth more than a couple of yards with half the distance.
Chuck Henry talking to Jeff Kane. Jeff Kane said, "Did my man get into the end zone?" And Al DeRue says, no, it's a face mask. Oh, touchdown indeed. personal foul face mask on Bremen. And that'll be assessed on the kickoff. So a touchdown for Tom Davenport, his 19th of the year. And Whiting just an extra point away from tying this one up. I never saw one of the officials go up with the touchdown signal. I saw some of the Whiting kids do it, but typically that doesn't count.
Once the flag flew, I think they were all waiting to see, just as we were.
Nino Barbosa to try the extra point. These have occasionally been an adventure for the Oilers this year. He's 50 out of 61. The snap is good, the kick is up, and it is good. 48.6 seconds remain in the first quarter, and the Whiting Oilers answer the Bremen score with one of their own. Tom Davenport, the big fullback, takes it on in from 4 yards out, and we're knotted at 7 on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week is being brought to you by IU South Bend, fulfilling the promise.
Now we're going to get a walk-off for the kickoff. And I tell you what, Whiting is going to be kicking from midfield. And with the wind at their back, if they want a touchback, they can probably get one here. But let's see what they do. They might want to squib and force a return. Folks, Pizza Hut in Bremen has a new $5 lineup. Choose 2 or more pizzas, sides or desserts, and they're only $5 each. Stop by before or after the game for great deals on great food. Pizza Hut in Bremen is a proud supporter of the Bremen Lions. Go Lions. Congratulations on an awesome season.
Now with a chance to kick it from the Bremen 45, actually, after they mark off the 15 yards for the personal foul. Wouldn't be at all surprised if Jeff Kane asked his team to squib it here and maybe try to create some chaos and get a onside kick recovery. But we'll wait and see what the 25-year veteran of the Whiting sidelines calls on for Nino Barbosa here. Barbosa slid as he kicked it, and it's taken deep by Bremen back at the goal line. Nathan Mullen, it looks like, on the return. That's the first time he's returned a kickoff all year. And he brings it out to the 29-yard line, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Bremen from there.
Pretty good result after all it could have been. We're in the final seconds of the first quarter. Folks, great agents get you. Erica Lamo with RE/MAX Oak Crest Realty will find a home that will match your life with your style. Call Erica Lehman at RE/MAX Oak Crest Realty to find your perfect home today. The number is 574-546-4000. Congratulations, Bremen Lions, on a great season from Erica Lehman.
Well, there wasn't a whole lot tricking and fooling by Bremen on the first drive. They gave it to Nathan Mullen a lot, and they'll do it again here. And this time Whiting is ready for Mullen, but he still plows forward and picks up about 5 yards on the play. Tremendous leg drive from Mullen, 6'2", 205 pounds. I was watching him in practice this week, and actually they went to Jake Wonder, so I got thrown off there. But Wonder is almost a carbon copy of Mullen. He's 6'2", 205.
Wonder now with that 1 yard carry for the touchdown has 9 yards on 3 carries. 69 yards for Mullen here in the first quarter.
Now it's Mullen, the big number 24, and he runs to the first down all the way up to the 44-yard line. Pickup of 10 on the play. The first down sponsored by Bremen High School as the first quarter comes to an end here at Don Bunge Field in Bremen. There has certainly been a playoff atmosphere for this one, as the Lions and the Oilers in a rematch of a regional 3 years ago. Whiting took that one by 7. Bremen came out tonight looking for revenge. The snow flying, the grunt flying. It's 7-7 on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week brought to you by Bethel College Admissions, equipping for lifelong service. We're equipped for a Bills hitting sideline report. Bo Hunt working the sidelines tonight. Your thoughts on that first quarter?
I think it's just as we expected. Both teams are going to put the ball or run the ball a lot, and Bremen's got a little bit of balance. We talked who's going to throw the first pass in this game. You know, Bremen now is going to have the win in their favor. Whiting didn't have the ball that much and didn't really need to throw the ball at all during that first quarter. So we'll see who opens up the passing game a little bit, who can shut down defensively, who can shut down the running game of the other team. That's going to be a key to watch here in the second quarter. Guys?
Thanks, Bo. Bob hasn't minded, Bo, because it makes it really easy for him to keep the passing stats.
It does. So far, both teams 0 for 0 for 0 yards, averaging 0 yards.
But now with the wind at Bremen's back, let's see if they decide to air it out a little bit. Sure enough, Caldwell fires a bullet, and it's caught by Justin Zumbrun up to the 36-yard line. Zumbrun makes his 25th grab of the year, good for a first down, sponsored by Bremen High School. You get another look from Bethel College admissions. You figured that with the wind behind them, the Lions might try to air it out, and they found Zumbrun on a nice little post pattern. Now it's Mullen trying to work his way up the middle, and he runs right over the defensive tackle Rodriguez and picks up about 4 on the play. Emiliano Rodriguez, 6'4", 243-pound junior. We were down on the field before the game, Bob, and he's certainly one who stands out down there.
There's a lot of fellas down there that were pretty impressive on both sides of the ball. And again, when you see Zumbrun come over the middle, make the catch, that defensive back's got one chance to spin him down. If he spins out of that, he goes to the house.
2nd and 6 from the 32. Mullen weaves his way through traffic, finally tripped up by Torres, but he gets the first down up to the 26-yard line. It's sponsored by Bremen High School. Joel Torres, great motor, 3-sport athlete. You need a guy like that to go up against a fellow like Nathan Mullen.
Mullen 90 yards now and 12 carries in the ball game. We are just starting the second quarter.
Seeing some big numbers from both these running games in the early going. Caldwell pitches to Mullen this time. He's got Wonder out in front of him, just rode up the back of his fullback and picked up 5. Student body right, nothing too complicated about it.
Reminds me of a play run by Mr. Yoder down at Northwood this season and in his career. You get that momentum going, you find a spot, you slice in there, and you get 5 or 6 yards.
Remember, this is just the second possession of the game here for Bremen, and we're early in the second quarter. Both teams chewing up clock with the running game so far in the early going.
6:40 on their first scoring drive.
On 2nd and 5, Caldwell wants to throw. Pump fake going to the end zone. Zumbrun, touchdown! Justin Zumbrun with a 21-yard touchdown catch. It's sponsored by Erica Lehman with Remax Oakcrest Realty. And that was a beautiful route by the senior Zumbrun.
Well run, well timed, beautiful throw up there where all you had to do was run underneath it. Chuck, you got to ask yourself, you know, if Whiting didn't throw the ball when they had the wind at their back in the first quarter, are they going to be hesitant to throw the ball throughout the game? If they are, Bremen's got an advantage with that fine throwing arm of Caldwell.
Now Colin Kerr on to try a very important extra point with the wind whipping behind him. The snap is good. The kick is up, and it is good. Kerr manages to squeeze it over the crossbar, and we'll give you a couple more looks at the Zumbrun touchdown catch, courtesy of Bethel College admissions. Unfortunately, you can't see. Well, right there you could. He froze the defensive back, made it try to look like a curl pattern, and then just took it right behind him, and Barbosa had no chance. Caldwell put it in a perfect place, Bob.
And there's that size difference we talked about, too. They average 6'2", 200 with their receiving core. Even if Barbosa's there, he's got a tough time reaching up and trying to knock that ball down. Throwing where only he could catch it.
So Justin Zumbrun comes up with his 8th touchdown catch of the year, and this is the 4th straight game that he's had a touchdown catch.
Folks, serving the Bremen area for over 70 years, Woody's Supermarket offers competitive prices. Stop in to Woody's Supermarket where you'll receive great service. They'll even load your groceries for you. Woody's, your hometown supermarket. What a great place to be on a Saturday morning. Get some of their fresh donuts at Woody's. Outstanding. Big part of Bremen.
Woody's was on the Facebook page today giving us some love, and we appreciate that. As you take a look at Colin Kerr getting ready to kick this one deep. And he hammers it, and that one will be dropped at the 4-yard line and picked up there. And working his way up the field, but not very far to the 15 is Thomas Knight. And it'll be the worst field position of the night for the Whiting Oilers. But let's take one more look at the touchdown catch here, Bob, and maybe we can see the double move right here. Watch Zumbrun at the bottom of your screen. The turn, he got Barbosa to bite on the fake, and then bye-bye, went right by him. And that was all Caldwell needed, who put it right over the shoulders.
Whiting starts at the 15-yard line, and when Bremen started from there, they went 85 yards for a score. Bremen's defense going to try to stop that trend.
1st and 10 from the 15. They hand it to Barbosa. Look at him pick his way through traffic and get up to the 23-yard line before Colin Kerr drops in there. Pickup of 8 on the play.
Barbosa now with 40 yards here in the first half. 95 for Mullen.
2nd and 1. They're going to give him credit for 9 on the play.
See how patient Barbosa is when he gets into the line of scrimmage and then tries to work his way past the linebackers.
Now they give it to him again, and Barbosa this time slammed to the turf at the 29, but that's good for an Oilers first down. And Barbosa knew he got thrown down hard, but it didn't bother him because he had moved the chains. Robert Mudica on the tackle. He was Bremen's top defensive lineman a year ago, and he's had another solid season up front.
8 carries, 45 yards now for Barbosa. Whiting has gotten themselves out of that deep hole. And again, they're going into the wind here tonight.
Now they'll give it off to Davenport, and he gets stacked up at the line of scrimmage and pushed back from there. They were waiting for the big fella, a wall of green jerseys in front of him.
The core values of Bremen Public Schools are great expectations, a caring school community, and mutual respect. And they form the foundation for our athletic programs. These values are taught daily in the classroom and on the playing fields. The Bremen Athletic Department wishes all the student athletes participating in tonight's game the best of luck and wish them all the best in their bright futures.
By the way, Concord has taken a 21-20 lead on Michigan City midway through the second quarter at Ames Field. Connolly, the quarterback, works his way through traffic. Actually, they might have had Barbosa line up in what they called a Bearcat formation that time. And Barbosa gets out to the 35-yard line, and it'll be 3rd and short. And you'll see Whiting do this from time to time. They move people around. I mean, Barbosa has thrown 9 passes this year, and he just lined up, took the direct snap, and tried to work his way in behind Davenport. 3rd and 4.
Big down. Anytime you see the time clock moving, you know the Bremen fans are excited. They're trying to get their team fired up for a stop right here.
Play clock down to 3. And did Whiting get a timeout before the play clock expired? I think they did. The Oilers take timeout with 7:32 to go in the first half, trailing Bremen 14-7 here on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week is being brought to you by Crown Trophy. They're nationally known and locally owned. It is a good night to get yourself under a blanket, whether you're outside or inside. Certainly, though, if you're outside, and the blankets are out in full force tonight at Don Bungie Field as this chilled crowd watches this Class 2A regional. Bremen with a 14-7 lead on Whiting with 7:32 to go first half. Huge 3rd and 4 here for the Oilers.
You got to believe they are not in 4-down territory, so this is the play.
It looks like Barbosa in the Bearcat again. He gives it to Davenport, who couldn't get his footing and falls down after a pickup of 1. As soon as Davenport took off, he looked like Fred Flintstone trying to start his car.
Or go for some ribs. Going to gain a yard in the play, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Watch right here. The feet go right out from under him, and it's all going in one place.
Defense is there to bring him to the ground. 2 points for a takedown, right?
Now, Davenport is the kicker for this Whiting team, and he'll line up in punt formation on 4th and 3. Bremen doesn't care about returning the punt. They want to make sure to guard against a fake here. Davenport boots it off the side of his foot, and it barely got past the line of scrimmage. If it did. They'll spot it out of bounds at the 37-yard line, and the line of scrimmage was the 36. That's a 1-yard punt. And the only special teams play worse than that was the Nebraska kickoff that went backwards.
Well, the good news for Whiting is there was no return. But that is a big, big factor here. You see it'll go right off the side of his foot, and then the wind, any chance it had to maybe grow in length was resolved by the wind. So Bremen in a great situation. When you think about, you look back at a game when it's over, what was the big factor? Field position is always a big factor. If they can get a two-score lead, be huge.
Well, Nathan Mullen almost had a hole to run through there. He picks up 5 on the play up to the 31-yard line. Jeff Kane said before the game, winning the line of scrimmage was key. Right now, that line of scrimmage belongs to Bremen.
And that's 100 yards on the night now for Mullen. And he did that on 19 carries. So over 5 yards a carry for Nate Mullen.
That's the 7th 100-yard running game of the year for Nathan Mullen. And they give it to him again. And we've got a flag coming in on the play. In fact, the flag hit one of the players in the helmet and bounced backwards. But the back judge flew through it, and usually that's indicative of a hold.
Bremen has not been whistled for a penalty yet tonight. Whiting's had 2 for a total of 3 yards.
No, we've got a hands to the face, personal foul, hands to the face against Bremen. That's a costly 15-yard penalty. But I want to go to Bo Hunt for a Bills Heating sideline report. Bo, on the 3rd down play, we saw Davenport struggle with his footing, and then obviously he struggled with the punt. Could those two be interrelated?
Yeah, I think what we talked about early in the game was the focus that you had to have out here. And he had that slip. They weren't able to pick up the 4th down. They're used to being up in almost every game that they've played all year this year. And so there's got to be a little bit of frustration going on. So he's got to really maintain that focus. And I think that punt had a lot of correlation to that slip, guys.
On 2nd and 17, Mullen in motion in the slot, but it's a quarterback draw for Ryan Caldwell. And the senior scoots out of bounds at the 41-yard line. Caldwell has rushed for 535 yards this year, averages almost 9 yards a carry, but he is also a very judicious young man when it comes to deciding whether to cut it upfield or not.
Well, and to get out of bounds. And he did a good job there wearing number 12. That reminds me of a player for Notre Dame last week that didn't get out of bounds, took a pretty good hit and pretty good injury, but Mullen did a good job there. He could get 4 without taking contact. That's what he got.
Now he's got a big 3rd and 14 and wants to go to the air. He's got lots of time in the pocket, steps up and throws, and it's almost intercepted by Barbosa. Barbosa was laying back there in wait, had seemingly baited Caldwell into that throw, but couldn't come up with his 11th interception of the year. You'll get another look from Bethel College admissions.
A lot of contact in here. That ball kind of flew.
And actually, it was a nice play by the Bremen receiver, Nathan Mullen, to knock it out of the hands of Barbosa and keep him from getting the pick. So it looks like Alex Stouter will come on to punt for Bremen. The line of scrimmage, the 40. Barbosa is the deep man, and I know one thing, they don't want to kick it anywhere near him. High floating snap. Stouter waiting, kicks it high, and Barbosa will let it go to the end zone, but we've got a flag down on the play back at the 17-yard line as a couple of players got tangled up.
Could be offsetting. It looked like both of them were going at it. We'll see what the call is while we're waiting. We'll tell you the Bills Heating has been keeping families and businesses comfortable since 1951. You can relax knowing your family's comfort is their top priority, and Bills Heating was voted best of the best by readers of the Goshen News 3 years in a row. Bills Heating, give them a call. It's a tough time of year. You want to make sure you're in good shape with your heating.
So Chuck Henry and his crew talking it over. And we've got a personal foul against Bremen. That's a costly face mask penalty on the Lions, because instead of pinning Whiting back at the 20, the Oilers get the ball at the 35 with 5:28 to go first half. Bremen has had a couple of huge penalties here in this quarter that have stalled them out a little bit.
5:29, certainly time enough to go down the field for Whiting. Where Bremen missed a big opportunity there.
So the center, Diego Olmedo, over the football. Snaps it back to Nino Barbosa. Barbosa finds some running room on the right side, but the flag comes in as Barbosa gets knocked out of bounds at the 46-yard line. I have the feeling this could be some sort of blocking violation against the Oilers. Chuck Henry, the official, indeed shows holding against Whiting. The good news for Whiting is it was so far upfield, they shouldn't lose too much yardage on this penalty.
Flag is down at about the 42, so go back to the 32, which is going to bring up first down and 13.
Bremen got on the board first with its first possession of the game. Whiting came back tied at late first quarter. And then a Ryan Caldwell to Justin Zumbrin touchdown pass. The difference in the game right now, and the officials want to talk things over.
You know, Chuck Bowe made a good point about you got to keep your head in there. You got to keep your focus. And the amount of penalties we've had here in the second quarter would indicate that that tightness that was evident in the first quarter has got a little bit loose. Something the coaches will be talking to them about at halftime.
So they reset the clock to 5:20 remaining in the half. Connolly looks to throw for the first time tonight, and it's intercepted. Alex Stouter with the pick, and Stouter works his way back deep into Whiting territory at the 20. Bremen creates the first turnover of the night. Stouter with his first pick of the season.
First turnover of the ball game.
31st turnover of the year created by the Bremen defense, and Connolly put it right into the 8 of Stouter.
Well, I thought I saw Stouter go down at practice the other night. Looked like he hurt an ankle, but, you know, I said, you think it'd be okay? And he goes, hey, we got a game Friday night. Stouter will be in the lineup. Tough kid.
So Stouter, who was the special teams MVP for Bremen a year ago, comes up with a big defensive stop here. And the Lions set up shop at the Oiler 20. The handoff to Mullen, and he was lucky to get a couple of yards on that as he was met right at the line of scrimmage. Whiting getting good defensive play from Robert Garcia, the defensive tackle, who's also a member of the wrestling team.
Bremen had an opportunity just a little bit ago. They were at the 29 heading in, didn't get anything from that. Or they're 37 heading in. Now they're at the 20-yard line heading in. These are opportunities. 2nd
and 8. Caldwell had come all the way over to the sidelines that time, Bob, to get the play from the coaching staff, and brings it in himself. Huffman, the tight end, lines up on the right side. Mullen in motion. And they give it to Mullen on the jet sweep, and Mullen cuts upfield and manages to pick up 6 on the play. Again, it's Garcia on the tackle for Whiting, and 3rd and short for Bremen.
108 yards in the first half for Mullen. Folks, while you're cheering on your favorite team from the stands, know that Thor Industries is your biggest fan. As the largest RV manufacturer in the world and with 16 Thor companies in northern Indiana, we have a spot for you on our starting lineup. Visit ThorIndustries.com and get started.
The mud-covered jersey of Nathan Mullen as he lines up in the backfield for this 3rd and 1. And they give it to Mullen again. Why not? It's been successful tonight, and it looks like it's successful enough to get the Bremen first down up to the 9-yard line. The first down sponsored by Bremen High School.
It is just enough for the first down.
Last week in the sectional final against Bluffton, Mullen ran for 215 yards, and he has had 6 touchdowns in the last 2 weeks. So I wouldn't be surprised to see the big fella get the call here on 1st and goal. Good crowd has come over from Northwest Indiana supporting the Oilers on the far side. They watch with trepidation here as Caldwell gets under center. The pitch to Mullen. Trying to go around the left side, put his head down over Barbosa and picks up 3. I'll say this for Nino Barbosa. He may only weigh 145 pounds, but he shows no fear on the field.
Nope. He said, Tough guy. We heard that from the coach during the week and what we saw on film.
And Colin Kerr got away with a dandy hold that time before Barbosa got into position. It'll be 2nd and goal. They spot it just short of the 5-yard line.
I think they list Barbosa at about 5'10". They're sneaking some in there.
He's 5'8".
Yeah.
They'll hand it off to Mullen, who tries to hurdle people at the line of scrimmage and spins down at the 3. Davenport in on defense that time, and he makes the stop.
Imagineering Finishing Technologies is a world-class metal finishing company specializing in plating, coating, testing, and consulting services. 59 years as a knowledge source for metal finishing solutions. Reach us on the web at info@iftworldwide.com.
Bremen trying to work the clock here in the late stages of the first half. Looking at a 3rd and goal from the 3. Stouter and Wogeman join Mullen in the full house backfield. Fake pitch. Easy touchdown to Huffman. Oh my goodness, Sam Huffman was all alone in the end zone for the score. It's sponsored by Erica Lehman with Remax Oakcrest Realty, and it's a 2-touchdown lead for the Lions. What a beautifully designed play and terrific execution by Bremen that time. And Huffman gets his 9th touchdown catch of the year, and you may well see that one on the 46 film room this Wednesday.
Caldwell did a great job. He run the ball so well, it makes the passing game come open.
High snap. Kerr's kick is up and good. 1:39 before halftime. And Bremen with the largest lead that anybody has had on Whiting this year as the Oilers find themselves down 21-7. Here's another look at the TD pass, Bob.
3 out of 4 on the night, 42 yards and 2 touchdowns for Caldwell. And that's great execution. And again, by the time Whiting realizes what's going on, they just had that look on their face like, ugh, they caught us. We see this happen, teams like New Prairie, when they throw the ball, a lot of times it's open because they run the ball so well. And certainly what Bremen's done tonight, but they've thrown the ball twice with the wind at their back. A couple of touchdowns.
2 touchdown passes tonight for Ryan Caldwell. For Huffman, that's his 20th catch of the year, and 9 of them have gone to the end zone. That's pretty good efficiency.
You figure that percentage, that's pretty good.
So Colin Kerr will do the kicking for Bremen. Now, you're far from out of the woods when you kick to Whiting, because the dangerous duo of Nino Barbosa and Christian Carroll are back deep. And it's Barbosa who just took the center spot back there.
Backing up a little bit. Again, the wind is at the back of the Bremen Lions, but you got to be careful. Do what
Kerr
you've
would
done.
love to drill that to the end zone, but he didn't get it done. And Barbosa, it goes by him and into the end zone for the touchback.
That's a good kick there.
Well, Nino plays baseball, and I'm sure he wishes he could have fielded that ground ball, but he couldn't come up with it. And Whiting will have to start back at the 20.
Well, the baseball is round, the football are not. And Barbosa feeling very frustrated. He looks up and he sees his team down 21-7 and 80 yards away from pay dirt with just 1:39 left to go.
And they have not exhibited much of a passing game, and if they show a passing game here, they'll have to throw it into the wind. And in fact, the passing game led to their only turnover, which just led to the last Bremen touchdown. On a mud-soaked night here in Bremen. Connolly takes the snap, throws out in the flat. It's a little bit low, and a nice shoe-top catch that time by Christian Carroll, making just his 3rd grab of the year, and he does it up at about the 25-yard line. So it's 2nd and 6 as they spot it back at the 24. But the clock stops with 1:35 to go first half.
First completion of the game.
Connolly will try again. Finds Carroll again. Steps out of bounds. Did he get the first down? Looks like he did not. He stepped out of bounds at the 29, so it'll be 3rd and 1.
Not taking much time off the clock with those 2 quick completions.
So on 3rd and 1, you might want to give it to your running back Davenport here and see if he can get you the first down. Clock stops when they move the chains, but Connolly throws, and he throws it out of bounds. It'll be 4th and 1, and a big decision here for Jeff Kane.
1:28 to go. Wind at your back.
Wind at your back if you're Bremen, but in your face right now if you're Whiting.
That's what I'm thinking about if they punt the ball.
And the last punt went 0 yards.
You might roll the dice here and say, let's go for it on 4th down if we get it. Keep Bremen off the board again in the first half, but
the Bremen students going nutty down below us. Low snap, Barbosa right side got the first down and still inbounds. Clock will stop on the first down play as he finally gets buried at the 38-yard line. Nice run of about 10 yards that time for Nino Barbosa. You get another look from Bethel College admissions.
Barbosa now with 61 yards in the first half. Again, you need more than one Lion to bring this guy down.
Davenport was the guy that sprung him on the outside. Wonder made the stop for Bremen. Connolly looks to throw. Chased out of the pocket, now throws on the run, intercepted. Hunter Bennett picks it off, the second turnover of the half for Whiting. And there's a Whiting player down on the ground. But you get another look from Bethel College admissions. Connolly hunted out there, and Bennett was laying low, and he never saw him.
Before the game, head coach Jeff Kane said we can't afford to put the ball on the ground. Well, they haven't fumbled it, but they have thrown 2 picks.
And meanwhile, a Whiting player is still down on the field, and trainers tending to him at the 44-yard line. We can't quite make out who it is. So we'll take a break with 1:03 left to go first half. Bremen on top 21-7 on 46. John Bach appeared to have the wind knocked out of him. He went off the field under his own power. A little worse for wear. We will meet John at halftime. I'll give you a hint. The interview was pre-recorded. So Bremen takes over at the 45-yard line with 1:03 to go and the wind at their backs. Situation where the Lions might be able to really seize control of this game.
And you're up 2 scores, so even if you make a mistake, it's likely not to cost you anything. So I'm thinking the ball is going up 3 or 4 times here.
Well, Caldwell wants to go for the home run ball. Instead, he throws to the short man coming up. And stepping out of bounds is Huffman, the tight end, after a pickup of about 6, but he managed to stop the clock.
Nice job checking down. He does that so well. He's 4 out of 5 in the first half. 48 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Michigan City has responded with a vengeance. The Wolves put 21 quick points on the board and now lead Concord 41-21 late first half. The winner plays New Pal in the semi-state. Hand off to Mullen. He got wrapped up in the backfield, still bangs off bodies and did a good job to pick up about a couple of yards on the play. Now Bremen will take a timeout with 51 seconds left to go in the first half.
I thought that would be a very effective play, especially running it in the middle of the field. Usually they're trying to protect the out routes, that kind of thing. In that situation, that's a good response by Whiting.
Well, Bremen worked on that 2-minute drill in practice a lot on Tuesday, and they looked very effective at it. We'll see how they do with it here.
Folks, if you're interested in improving all areas of your fitness program or sport, join the Strength and Conditioning Center in Mishawaka, the Beacon Sports Performance Center. They offer youth, high school, and adult performance training. Visit their website at beaconhealthandfitness.org. Do it today.
Big Ten doubleheader for you on Pulse FM tomorrow afternoon, or Saturday afternoon, I should say. We started off at noon on 103.1 FM only as Tom Allen's Indiana Hoosiers take on Maryland down at the Rock. And then at 3:30, Jeff Rome's Boilermakers venture up to Minnesota, take on PJ Fleck and the Boat Rowers up there. 3:30 for the kickoff on 92.1, 96.9, 103.1 FM. Big 3rd and 2 here for Bremen with 51 seconds left first half. Caldwell with time finds Mullen in the slot. Mullen first down and more. Nathan Mullen out of bounds at the 16. First down sponsored by Bremen High School.
Gain of 20 yards and a first down.
Caldwell has been money throwing the ball yet again tonight.
5 out of 6, 68 yards.
2 touchdowns so far for the senior signal caller.
The one incompletion was really good defensive play by Barbosa, almost resulted in a pick the other way.
Receivers split left and right. Bremen still with 2 timeouts remaining, so they can use the middle of the field here. Caldwell, though, wants to look deep. Fires it out there, and it's complete for a first down. Huffman makes his 3rd grab of the night, and it's good for a first down, sponsored by Bremen High School. Sam Huffman was an all-conference tight end a year ago, and he makes a nifty 12-yard grab right here. Thomas Knight made the stop. Bremen will take another timeout with 37.5 seconds left.
Teachers Credit Union understands the importance of growing your future, whether you're growing your family, your square footage, or your business. Teachers Credit Union is here for you with financial solutions that will help you succeed. Visit tcunet.com to start growing your future today. Federally insured by the NCUA, they are an equal housing opportunity lender.
So you see Jeff Kane talking to his Whiting defense, trying to come up with a way to stop this very balanced attack for Bremen. They have really unveiled the passing game here in the second quarter with the wind at their backs.
Give Coach Leeper a lot of credit. They did not try to throw against the wind in that first quarter. They were able to run the ball, though. 85-yard drive in 13 plays, got them on the board and put them up 7-0. It's been a well-executed game plan by a very well-coached team in Bremen. Whiting doing all they can.
They'll give it to Mullen, right side to the end zone. Touchdown, Bremen. Nathan Mullen's 18th touchdown run of the year, and the Lions are roaring tonight.
Used up a lot of that clock, didn't they? That was a really well-executed exchange after the turnover.
Touchdown sponsored by Erica Lehman with a Remax Oakcrest Realty.
5 yards gives Mullen 122 here in the first quarter.
Colin Kerr on to try the extra point. The kick is up, and it is good. And with 34 seconds, 33.8 to be precise, left in the first half, Bremen is pounding the unbeaten Whiting Oilers. As you take another look at Mullen, and he really wasn't touched till he got into the end zone.
Wow, what a performance.
And again, it's that right side of the line of scrimmage that time that really opened up the hole. Lane Moser and Wyatt Pollard moving people out of the way. So 28-7 Bremen. Remember, it was a 7-7 game headed to the second quarter. But 2 big turnovers for Whiting have led to 2 Bremen scores and really turned this game in favor of Bremen.
And you're at that point in the ball game, Chuck. You know, we're nearly at the end of the first half, but going into the third quarter, if you have a team that thinks maybe they're beaten, it's your responsibility to convince them they've made that right decision. Got to come out ready to play in that second half.
Because Whiting is an explosive team that can put points on the board in a hurry, and have this year. Kerr's kick again scoots past Barbosa. It is one of those kind of nights for the Oilers. Right
How are
now.
those kicks? I mean, you talk about everybody doing a good job and executing where they can to help the team, and Barbosa knows that they're down 21 points at halftime.
I think a lot of people looked at the special teams of these 2 teams coming in and thought Whiting had a big advantage in that area. But really, Bremen has won the special teams battle so far tonight.
They certainly have. Of course, Bremen will get the ball to start the second half.
1st and 10 from the 20, and after 2 interceptions from his quarterback, I think Jeff Kane might just be taking a knee here, but we'll see. They've got Barbosa lined up in a safety formation, and indeed, Connolly does take a knee, and the Bremen Lions will get a standing ovation from many in this crowd at Don Bunge Field as they get ready to go to the locker room with a 28-7 lead on Whiting in this Class 2A regional. What a performance by the Lions in the second quarter. And they don't really have to ask the fans to stand up. Most of them are already doing it.
Even with the mittens on, you can hear the applause.
So the teams head to the locker room. We go down to Bo Hunt. He's got Jordan Leeper for a Bills Heating sideline report.
Coach, you go into halftime up 3 scores, you get the ball to start the second half. How do you keep these guys focused and knowing that there's still another half to go?
This game's a long way from over, and we know that we got to play for 48 minutes because I know they are. So we got 24 left, and we just got to recognize the situation at 0-0.
Heck of a job, Mullen, running the ball first quarter. Caldwell throwing the second quarter. Any adjustments, offense?
No, I think we're doing a good job mixing up, and our offensive line is doing a great job of owning the line of scrimmage.
Lee, thanks for your time.
All right, thank you.
Back to you guys.
Second quarter tonight was brought to you by Auto Park Ford of Bremen. Coming up on the Belmar BP Bremen halftime report, we've got our TCU Student Athletes of the Week and halftime highlights and stats. Second quarter owned by the Bremen Lions. The passing game got the job done, so too did the defense. 28-7 Bremen on 46. We're at halftime here at historic Don Bunge Field in Bremen. Time to meet our TCU Student Athletes of the Week. They are brought to us by our friends at Teachers Credit Union, who invite you to go online and become a member at tcunet.com. Two outstanding representatives of these two academic institutions tonight. We have John Bach from Whiting, Caitlin Shively from Bremen. We always start with the visitors first. John is not only a terrific linebacker, as you saw in the first half, but he's also a wrestler at Whiting and doing a remarkable job in the classroom. How in the world do you find time for all of these demanding sports and getting the job done in your class?
Well, Coach Kane told me since freshman year, he's like, if you really want to accomplish things, you will find time for them no matter where in your schedule. And I really believed in that, and that I've carried that saying throughout my whole high school career.
Obviously, Coach has had a great inspiration for you. Who else has instilled these kind of values in you?
Well, my parents always tell me to never give up, and I love them for that. My entire family, my uncles, they always strive for greatness. I have a lot of role models, for sure.
Well, and you're going to become a role model, as though you haven't been already, for 4 years by going to Purdue and studying electrical engineering. Tough subject. What installed that thought into your head?
Well, when I was a kid, I was always helping my dad do electrical, and I would always try to get involved with it every chance I got. I took a class last year and I loved it, so I know it's my passion.
Chance to boiler up after you oiler up tonight. Good luck to you in Whiting tonight.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That is John Bach from Whiting High School. Over here we have Kaylin Shively, terrific three-sport athlete. If you didn't see her pitch last year, you missed a honey of a season. Bremen got all the way to the state championship game, and she was second-team All-State. She also plays volleyball and basketball. My goodness, 3 sports. When do you even find time to go to class?
It's really hard, but I have a lot of coaches that help me get through all of that, and also my family, they support me in everything I do.
Which of those sports is your favorite?
Definitely softball.
What is it that appeals to you about that sport?
All the new friends that come along and all the relationships I'm able to build with people, and also just I have a really good love for this sport, and my family has helped me through that, as well as travel softball and my travel softball coaches and high school coaches.
Now, all these sports are not what you're going to be doing at Ball State, though. You plan to study a very difficult subject in audiology. I'm very curious as to what put that thought into you.
I have a really good family friend who let me job shadow her, and it really kind of interested me, and I kind of fell in love with it from there.
You never know how you're going to touch a child when you let them come along and see what you do for a living, will you?
No.
All right, well, Kaylin, best of luck to you and the Lions all season long, and keep up the great work here at Bremen.
Thank you.
Kaylin Shively and John Bach, our TCU Student Athletes of the Week. They're brought to us by our friends at Teachers Credit Union. Go online to tcunet.com and find out how you can be a member. We're back with halftime highlights and stats after this. You're watching the Class 2A Regional on TV 46. This edition of the TV46 High School Football Game of the Week is brought to you by the electrical workers of Local 153. They're making our community brighter. Welcome back, everybody, on the Belmart BP Bremen halftime report. The chilled crowd, but they've been warmed by the action here on the Bremen sideline as the Lions lead the Whiting Oilers by a count of 28-7. Chuck Freeby and Bob Nagel high above the fray and in the great indoors here at Bremen High School. And what an impressive second quarter by Bremen tonight.
Really was, Chuck. A combination of defense coming up with big plays, the offense capitalizing on what they do well, and having the wind at their back. They were able to throw the ball really well. And the special teams tonight, and that's something we talked about during the break a couple of times, how effective Bremen has been on special teams and really how ineffective Whiting has been, and they came in with a great reputation.
You haven't seen a dominating quarter like that since about 5 o'clock at Purcell Pavilion today. Let's take a look and show you how it got to be this way here at Don Bunge Field. The Lions, on their first possession of the game, key fourth down play here. Ryan Caldwell runs for about 10 yards, gets the first down, then Jacob Wonder plows into the end zone. 7-0 Bremen, impressive 85-yard march. Whiting comes right back down the field. Look at Tom Davenport, break 2 tackles, dive into the end zone. Tied at 7 going to the second. But the wind at the back of Bremen in the second quarter. They go to the air right away. Justin Zumbrin on the post, and then the double move by Zumbrin gets him open for the touchdown. 14-7 Bremen. Big plays by the defense. Alex Stouter with 1 interception right there. Takes it back to the 20-yard line on a little third down pooch pass to Sam Huffman. He hauls it in. Nice little pose there in the end zone. 21-7 Bremen. Then the interception by Hunter Bennett. That'll set up the 2-minute drill. Mullen pounds and pounds and pounds it on in for the score. Bremen dominating on the scoreboard, 28-7, and the stat sheet's not that all much different.
No, and I tell you, one of the reasons that Bremen doesn't show more yardage is they had those 2 short fields after the interceptions. They didn't have far to go. They put on 223 yards of total offense, 80 of it through the air. Just an outstanding effort on the quarterback's part in that first half, as they wound up going 6 out of 7 for 80 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's pretty efficient the way you do it. And the stat that we put up there, the 2 turnovers, of course, were very big. But points off of turnovers, it's one thing to get an advantage, get an opportunity, but Bremen capitalized on both those picks.
And really, that whole second quarter was played on the Whiting side of the field, and Bremen took advantage of it, outscored the Oilers by a count of 21-0 in the stanza. So 28-7, Bremen on top. People trying to stay warm any way they can. Hopefully that fire is legal. Even if it's not, I don't think they care very much. Bremen, somebody get somebody from code enforcement or something like that. 28-7, Bremen on top. For our Facebook Live viewers, stick around. We've got some scores from other games coming your way next on 46. This edition of the TV46 High School Football Game of the Week is being brought to you in part by J.B. Macri Orthodontics. Trust your smile to the experts. Chuck Freeby, Bob Nagel, and Bo Hunt. Lots of reasons to smile on the Bremen sidelines. Probably not so much over on the Whiting side. Bo Hunt, I know you didn't get a chance to talk to Jeff Kane, but what kind of adjustments do you see Whiting needing to make here as they start the second half?
Well, offensively, they just have to get something going. Those 2 interceptions really cost them in the first half. They were in this game. Actually, they had a chance to actually take the lead after tying at 7-7. So I think one of the things is their offense needs to get going, sustain some drives, get some momentum. But the first things first, Bremen gets the ball, and they have to make a stop. They have to stop this fluent Bremen offense.
So Nino Barbosa and Whiting will kick it deep. Nathan Mullen is back there along with Evan Mangus as we get ready to start the second half. Bremen hoping they can put this one away with a big possession, but the onside kick actually rolls backwards, a la Nebraska, and Bremen will get it at the Whiting 38. You talk about a night where everything has gone wrong for Whiting. It's tonight. And for Bremen, everything's gone right, primarily because of the usual 2 suspects, Ryan Caldwell and Nathan Mullen. Caldwell has thrown the ball exceptionally well, Bob.
They're marking the ball down side the 40-yard line. Chuck, you're absolutely right. And the thing is, the run has set up the pass. The pass has capitalized on the run, and the defense has come up with big plays. And I just can't believe one of the things that Jeff Kane's got to be really puzzled by is the execution and special teams. 4th down, A 1-yard punt, start the second half, onside kick. I like the idea.
A -2-yard onside kick and without a return. Now they'll give it to Nathan Mullen, looking for some running room around the right side. Mullen dragging tacklers. Thomas Knight got a free pony ride for the kids after a pickup of 3.
One of the things that I was going to say was going to be so big for Bremen, not only get the ball to start the second half, but if they could put together a 5 or 6 minute drive, but they don't have to. They're in positive territory already.
Mullen with 125 yards now on the night as he continues to build up his career numbers.
19 carries.
2nd and 7. It's Mullen again. This time burying his head as he goes into the right side, picking up about another 3. Robert Garcia on the tackle for Whiting. And Bremen will be looking at a 3rd and about 4 here.
Can't say enough about the blocking, too. Wonder he went in there first, helped create the hole.
Wonder in that whole Bremen offensive line. And they've been mulling it over all season long here at Bremen, as he's averaging nearly 105 rushing yards per game, and he is above and beyond that tonight. 3rd and 4. Mullen lines up in the slot this time. Caldwell gives it to Bryce Wogeman, and he's met right at the line of scrimmage. Good solid tackle by John Bach. Nice to see him come back into the game after that injury he suffered in the first half. And Bach, who is a blue-collar lunch pail player, according to his head coach Jeff Kane, really did a nice job that time.
Wogeman picks up a yard or so. It's 4th down and 3.
From the 30.
If Whiting is going to have a chance to get back in the ball game, they need to stop here. Bremen on short yardage earlier. Had their quarterback roll out. Caldwell could have thrown it. Instead, he pulled it down and got the first down.
Here he'll roll out with blockers in front, and Caldwell gets the first down. He was tackled from behind by John Bach, but not until Caldwell appears to have the first down as they spot it down at the 28-yard line. That'll move the chains, but first Chuck Henry wants to bring them out.
While they do that, we'll tell you that the Wooden Peel is a great place to stop before and after the game for great food. The Wooden Peel is looking to add to their staff. They must be, if you want to apply, be at least 16 and able to work nights and weekends. Stop in for an application. A big thank you goes out to the Wooden Peel for feeding the TV46 crew. Go Lions from the folks at the Wooden Peel.
You may notice the orange ribbons painted on the field right about where they're bringing these chains out. This has been a season-long drive to raise awareness about leukemia here in the Bremen community. And now here's the key measurement, and Bremen comes up short. Whiting was able to get the stop. What a tackle by Bach to make the stop. As you take a look at those orange ribbons down on the field for leukemia awareness, but Whiting, just when they needed a big 4th down play, gets it and keeps this game alive with 9:41 to go in the 3rd.
And now the Oilers have the wind at their back. Chance to do some good. They tried to throw against the wind in the first half and wound up with 2 interceptions.
Yeah, that Bob Seeger offense didn't work very well.
Against the wind?
Yes.
Thank you.
It moved like a rock.
Yeah.
Sunk. So 9:41 here to go in the 3rd quarter. Whiting a little late getting some personnel on the field. Now they seem to have everybody in order. And John Furto has come on the field here and lines up to the right of Nino Barbosa. And it's Barbosa taking the snap and running to the right. Barbosa being chased by Bremen pursuit, but cut it up the field and managed to get about 6 yards. Man, is he elusive. Barbosa had 245 yards rushing, Bob, in their win against North Newton. He's a 3-sport athlete.
Got delayed here. They were able to get some penetration, pushed him back, but where was the corner? Folks on the end weren't there. He was able to turn upfield, got about, I'm going to say, about 4 yards.
2nd and 6. And it looks like they've gone to Barbosa at quarterback in favor of Stephen Connolly. Barbosa will run it off the left side this time. Got a nice block, cuts it back, and look at him go. Barbosa with a stiff arm of Hunter Bennett, and finally runs out of bounds at his own 47-yard line. Pick up a 15 on the play and a first down for Whiting. You'll get another look here on the Bethel College Admissions replay.
82 yards now for Barbosa.
Well, John Furto had a monster block on Alex Stouter there.
I think he had a monster hold.
Well, that might have been 2.
Could have got 2 for a takedown right there, but we've seen a couple both ways, but you just don't want to give Whiting any confidence, any momentum here.
They pitched to Barbosa this time, and he is spun back and taken down at the 42. Loss of 5 on the play. Coming over was Wyatt Pollard to make the stop. Pollard's 11th tackle for loss this year for the two-sport athlete. He's also a member of the Bremen track team. You get another look from Bethel College Admissions.
I love Bryce Wogelman here, number 20, came in and took a shot. Now, he didn't get him, but by having to fight off that shot, he couldn't go anywhere, and the defense came up and made the tackle.
Alex Stouter was also there. Now they go to Christian Carroll. This worked well in the first quarter, and it works well here. A first down run by Carroll as a lightning strike up to the 42-yard line. He is explosive.
Pulling out all the stops at 25 yards on the night now for Carroll.
His quarterback, Stephen Connolly, leading the charge through the hole that time before Justin Zumbrin brought him down.
Second first down of the drive. It started with 9:41 to go in the third quarter.
Here's the snap and the give to Tom Davenport. Davenport running backwards half the way through that run, but he got 9 yards on the play. Davenport had the game-winning touchdown against Bremen back in the 2015 regional. Something that the Lions had not forgotten as they practiced this week.
Whiting now over 100 yards rushing in the ball game. They were over 100 at halftime with exactly 100, but starting to add to those totals.
2nd and 1 from the 33. This time it's Barbosa in the Bearcat formation, and he gets the Whiting first down. Bremen saying the ball popped loose, but it looked like it was marked down by the officials who point for a Whiting first down.
80 yards for Barbosa now.
They get it up to the Bremen 29, 1st and 10. Looks like Whiting has started to pick up the tempo a little bit here too.
14 carries for Barbosa.
Again, everybody with the check of the wristbands, and Connolly will line up the quarterback. Wants to throw. Connolly throwing for the end zone, and it's caught out there short of the goal line, but Christian Carroll with the catch down at the 4-yard line. Carroll with a 25-yard reception, his second of the night, and you get another look from Bethel College Admissions.
A nice job. The defender was in the neighborhood, but didn't quite have the position he needed.
So it'll be 1st and goal down at the 3-yard line for Whiting. Bremen looked like it was ready to take complete command on the opening drive here of the third quarter. The Oilers got a big 4th down stop, and now they're taking it right back down the field.
3 out of 6 passing, 34 yards now for Whiting.
Barbosa, right side, stacked up at the 1-yard line. He did not make it in. Bremen's Brennan Adams was there to make the stop.
Helping you find your next vehicle is only the beginning at Auto Park Ford of Bremen. They offer auto repair service after the sale, as well as car buying experience that's satisfying, worry-free, and at your convenience. Haven't you heard? Fords truly cost less than Bremen. Auto Park Ford of Bremen, proud supporter of high school athletics and the Bremen Lions. Go Lions!
Davenport, right side, touchdown Whiting. Tom Davenport's 2nd touchdown of the night, his 20th of the year. And Whiting has closed the gap to 28-13, pending the extra point.
Got the ball at their own 28-yard line after that big 4th down stop.
A big 72-yard drive that time by the Oilers. And now Nino Barbosa on to try the extra point.
72 yards, 9 plays, picked up 3 first downs.
Snap is dropped. Barbosa is looking to throw, still on his feet. And now, did he go down? No, he ran out of bounds, and the extra point fails. So that was messed up on the snap, and another special team snafu for Whiting. But the Oilers get themselves back in the game. First, they had the long pass up the field to Christian Carroll, and then Tom Davenport's second touchdown of the night puts the Oilers within striking distance on 46. And this edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week is brought to you in part by J.B. Macri Orthodontics. Trust your smile to the experts. Jeff Kane has been on the sidelines for 25 years. That's one of his assistants right there looking on. But Whiting has gotten back in this football game, trailing 28-13.
Well, they tried an onside kick. Chuck, I don't imagine that's going to happen here. We've still got 6:48 to go in the 3rd quarter. Whiting could use just a good kickoff and some good coverage, something positive out of special teams here.
Nino Barbosa gets ready to kick it off. Long wait for the signal. Now he gets it. Onside kick attempt again, and Barbosa didn't kick it far enough. It only got to the 48-yard line, and Bremen will take over.
Yep.
Whiting trying to say that a Bremen player touched it, but I think Whiting touched it first.
No question about it. The ball hadn't gone 10 yards. Barbosa did the kicking. There's 5, 6, 7. Yep. 48-yard line heading in for Bremen.
So Bremen, for the second time in this quarter, gets the ball in plus territory. And now we'll see what the Lions can do with it here. The handoff to the fullback, one of the few times that Bremen has done that tonight away from the goal line. And a 5-yard pickup that time for Bryce Wogeman.
Wogeman's second carry of the night.
It'll be 2nd and 5 from the 43.
Caldwell checking with the head coach on the sidelines, heading back in there. Well, you know, when your guy comes into the huddle and he's going to call the play and let you know what we're going to do, you don't have any questions when it's a guy like Ryan Caldwell, a veteran.
From the I formation, they'll hand it off to Nathan Mullen. He got hit almost as soon as he got it, but bounced off a tackler and dove forward past the 40-yard line. He's short of the first down after the tackle by Robert Garcia. It'll be 3rd and 1. There's 11:14 left in regulation at Steele Stadium. Lowell and Mishawaka are tied at 14. Michigan City has pulled away from Concord. The Wolves lead at 55-21 in the 3rd.
You know, taking 3 downs to get a first down for Bremen is not a bad idea. It runs the clock, keeps the ball in your possession.
On 3rd down, it's Mullen up the middle. He's got the first down. It's sponsored by Bremen High School as he crashes forward to the 38-yard line.
135 yards rushing now for Mullen. Folks, Pizza Hut in Bremen has a new $5 lineup. Choose 2 or more pizzas, sides, or desserts, and they're all only $5 each. Stop by before or after the game for great deals on great food. Pizza Hut in Bremen is a proud supporter of the Bremen Lions. Go Lions! Congratulations on an awesome season.
Should Bremen win tonight, they would be home if they played LaPel. They would be on the road if they played the heavily favored Eastbrook team next week. But still a long way to go in this one, up 28-13. Caldwell on play action. In trouble, throws, and it's incomplete. He smartly threw that one where nobody, and I mean nobody, in the field of play would be able to catch it. Thomas Knight was the defender on the play.
Good heads-up play again by Caldwell. Especially with young people, young quarterbacks. You know, if they can learn the value of an incomplete pass sometimes, the worst thing that happens is 2nd down and 10. You throw it where it can be picked off. That's the last thing you want to do in this situation. Whiting is starting to get a little bit of a momentum behind them. Bremen needs a couple more first downs on this drive.
They'll give it off to Mullen. He goes off the right tackle and picks up about 5 on the play. Again, it's Garcia, the defensive tackle, on the stop. Third quarter tonight being brought to us by Auto Park Ford of Bremen. And once again, we want to give a thank you to Lori Sumter at Phil Hahn and Associates for sponsoring our live stream. The last time I looked on there was almost 140 people watching this game from all over the country.
Mullen was the ball carrier on that last carry. He's got 140 yards on the night for Bremen.
Now I'm told there's 244 Facebook viewers right now. Caldwell, nice pass over the top. Huffman wants pass interference, and he'll get it from the back judge. Thomas Knight was the defender on the play. It took a while for that flag to come out, but it may well be the right call. We'll more than likely get another look from Bethel College admissions after Chuck Henry signals pass interference.
One of those quick throws that if you get it in the hands of the receiver, he's going to be tough to stop. And there's climbing over the back, number 4. Me?
Watch the flag hit Nino Barbosa right in the helmet, adding injury to insult.
Poor Nino's had a tough night. Terrific football player.
So it's a first down for Bremen, sponsored by Bremen High School, up to the Whiting 19-yard line. 4:03 left to go, third quarter. Mullen, the tail of the tandem, Huffman in motion. Mullen off the left side, lead block from Wogeman, but a flag comes in on the play, and this may well be a hold or a false start on Bremen.
Folks, great agents get you. Erica Lehman with Remax Oakcrest Realty will find a home that will match your life with your style. Call Erica Lehman at Remax Oakcrest Realty to find your perfect home today. That number is 574-546-4000. 574-546-4000. Congratulations, Bremen Lions, on your great season.
Seemed like a little bit of a late flag for a illegal procedure, but there's a lot of things that can generate an illegal procedure call. Perhaps somebody wasn't lined up on the line of scrimmage properly. So it'll be 1st and 15. And the clock ticking away.
And again, that gives Bremen a chance to run a little bit more clock here in the third quarter.
But they need to get some points on the board. They've been held scoreless here in the third.
Points would be good.
Mullen trying to find some running room, and there just wasn't any. Swarm of Whiting jerseys comes over. Thomas Knight was the first one there to make the hit on Mullen after a pickup of 2.
Boy, and I tell you what, he took a whack. It's part of the deal when you're the top running back, but man, he was standing up, which he tends to do. He runs a little bit high, but that gives him a good view of what's going on. But man, I tell you what, he took a whack.
How many carries has he had tonight? He's got to be getting close to the 30 mark.
He's at 27.
Yes, he is. Okay. 2 receivers to the bottom of the screen for Caldwell from the shotgun. He'll keep it himself on a bootleg, and he's got room to run. Caldwell runs out of bounds close to that first down marker. Joel Torres was in pursuit. And we'll see where they spot it. Well, he's actually not as close to that first down marker as I originally thought. He's about 3 yards away from it.
We needed 13. Got 9.
The chain gang was abandoning ship over there, and I don't blame them. But now Bremen looking at a third, and we'll call it 3.
21 yards on the night for Caldwell and 3 carries.
Again, Huffman showing motion. Now an interior block for Mullen, who hurdles people and gets to the 3 for a Bremen first down. It's sponsored by Bremen High School. We've got a player slow to get up, and it's Mullen, and you can't blame him. 28 carries tonight, and he's getting up looking like most of us getting out of bed on a Saturday morning.
Looked like Carlton Fisk sliding into second base late in his career. He looked like his head got caught in the hip of the defender.
Watch again, Huffman gave him a nice ISO lead block, and Mullen slowly coming off the field right now with the trainer, and looks a little bit hobbled.
9th play of the drive coming up here for Bremen. Clock winding down, 2:39 to go, third quarter.
Mullen trying to get the dirt out of his cleats right now while he's over on the sideline.
Heading over to concession stand for a cup of hot chocolate.
No, that's you.
Yeah.
Bremen first and goal from the 3. Caldwell gives it off to Alex Stouter, and Robert Garcia's having none of it. Garcia, big number 70, has had a lot of stops tonight for this Whiting defense, and he just made another one right there.
There you go to a running back like Stouter, because they're not going to expect him to get the ball, and yet they made a nice read. 3-yard loss on the play.
Garcia was in the backfield, beat the block that time, and was creating nothing but havoc back there. Looks like Mullen's back in the game, but he's blocking here for Caldwell, who throws to the end zone. Touchdown, Bremen! Sam Huffman with another touchdown catch, his second of the night. The 3rd TD pass of the night for Ryan Caldwell, and the Lions go back up by 3 scores.
Patience, execution, well-thrown ball, and you got a big target. Chuck, I really think that 6'2" average that they have in the receiving corps is a big factor against the secondary from the Whiting Oilers.
Well, Sam Huffman was an all-conference tight end a year ago, and there will be a heavy investigation if he's not this year as well. Colin Kerr's extra point is up and good. 1:35 to go in the third quarter, and Bremen's Ryan Caldwell having the night every quarterback dreams about. 3 TD passes, 2 to his big tight end Sam Huffman, and the Lions lead at 35-13 on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week is being brought to you by Imagineering Finishing Technologies, IFT, where quality is a way of life. The Bremen Lions, looking for a regional title, are perhaps just 13 minutes and 35 seconds away from it. They lead Whiting by a count of 35-13 tonight. A total team effort for the Lions this evening.
You're really looking at a defense that if they get one more stop, could be enough. Run out the clock. Still have an entire quarter to go, but a little end-over-end job. Anything to keep it away from Barbosa.
And yet he picks it up at the 26. And Barbosa stacked up by a gang of Bremen tacklers at the 39. Whiting will have good field position with 1:28, but that's the last minute 28. They'll have the wind at their backs tonight.
That's another thing that's going to be in Bremen's favor. Save time, save gas, save money. Shop Woody's. Woody's Supermarket in Bremen. Proud to support the Bremen Lions and proud to be your hometown supermarket for over 70 years. Go Lions from your friends at Woody's Supermarket.
So Whiting has run a variety of formations. Couple of quarterbacks out there tonight. And they'll have Barbosa line up in the Bearcat formation here. Joel Torres in the game right now. To his right. Barbosa keeps it himself behind a Torres block and runs for about 10 yards on the play to get another Whiting first down. So Nino Barbosa, young man who's been playing football since the age of 5.
And he has 92 yards tonight, nearing that 100-yard mark.
Barbosa with 895 rushing yards on the year coming in, 311 receiving yards, and has been electric as a special teams performer and a defensive back this year.
See on the back of that helmet, the Oiler logo with the big O on the back of that helmet.
Very similar to the University of Oregon O.
Folks, the Bremen Athletic Department extends its appreciation to our student body, cheerleaders, band, color guard, community, faculty, staff, and the Long Green Line. Your dedication and support are tremendous. A special thanks to the Bremen coaching staff for all the early mornings, late nights, and your sincere commitment to our student athletes. Little B, Big Green. That's Bremen Athletic Department.
So Barbosa was about a couple lengths short of a first down. It'll be 2nd and inches here for Whiting. Clock stopped with 1:07 to go here in the third quarter.
You know, we should have mentioned those coaches' wives who do a great job, put up with a lot of times with the husband away from home during the season.
Absolutely.
So many people making sacrifices. It helps lead to success.
Halftime score, Eastbrook leading Lapel 28-7. Here's a inside handoff again to Christian Carroll. That's been money every time they've gone to it tonight. And Whiting gets up to the 43-yard line for an Oiler first down.
9-yard carry on 2nd and 1.
And actually we have a final now. Eastbrook has defeated Lapel 52-14. So it'll be Eastbrook against the winner of this game in the semi-state next Friday night.
At Eastbrook.
Here's Barbosa trying to cut against the grain and does. Nino Barbosa exploding through the hole and knocked out of bounds at about the 13-yard line. What a run by Barbosa. Good for 29 yards and a Whiting first down.
Biggest run of the night for Barbosa. He was nearing the 100-yard mark, and he just went flying by it. Now at 122 yards on the night.
Love the stop-and-go move that he did that time, taking it all the way down to the 14-yard line. And they're having Barbosa run the controls here. He's going to run it off the right side. Got a block from Torres, but there wasn't anybody on the outside. And Evan Mangus laid the lumber.
Evan Mangus, hello.
Mangus with his 50th stop of the season. And the young man who is 2nd in his class here at Bremen did some film study on that one.
Takes Barbosa back to 120 yards rushing here during the final play of the third quarter.
Did Barbosa get it off? Apparently he did. He's running around out on the field, throws, and it's a little too hard for Davenport to come up with. So it'll be 3rd and 12 for Whiting as they start the fourth quarter. Whiting looked as though it was ready to make a surge here in the third. Tom Davenport had his 2nd touchdown of the game after this pass to Christian Carroll, but Bremen came right back down the field. Sam Huffman from Ryan Caldwell, and the Lions lead at 35-13 on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week is being brought to you in part by Bill's Heating, keeping families and businesses comfortable since 1951. They also sponsor our sideline report. Not sure Bo Hunt's been comfortable tonight, but he's been down on the sidelines. And Bo, your thoughts on this 1 through 3?
Well, I think Whiting did a great job and great adjustments. They really controlled that quarter but they were still outscored in that quarter. Bremen won that quarter 7-6, so, Bremen still had the advantage there in that third quarter. Of course, Whiting's here getting ready to score. Their big third down coming up. They really need to get a score here to stay in this game. Bremen, on the other hand, great job of coming back after that fourth down, non-conversion on their first drive, of really getting a really good score that last time. Guys?
2:45 left at Steel Stadium, by the way. Mishawaka leads Lowell 21-14. They'll play Dwenger next week should they win. Here's Barbosa trying to run around the outside, and Barbosa is shoved out of bounds, but there's going to be a hold called on Joel Torres.
Yeah, Barbosa just didn't have enough to get around the corner, and Torres grabbed a hold of the defender, and then he was able to get around the corner, and boy, the frustration just continues for that guy. So you start the fourth quarter off with a holding call.
And that'll be a big 10-yard penalty marked off against Whiting. The eliminate penalties was one of Jeff Kane's keys to the game. They have not done so tonight.
With 5 penalties for 33 yards, not bad, but again, when you're in a deficit, trying to come up with a big play.
It is second down and 20 from the 24, although the down marker on the far side says third.
I've got third down.
Oh.
They lost 2 on the first carry. They threw an incomplete pass.
That's right. It should be third down. It was 3rd and 12 going into that play. It's now 3rd and 20. There is some confusion down on the field as well, so Whiting will take a timeout with 11:53 to go.
Bill's Heating has been keeping families and businesses comfortable since 1951. You can relax knowing your family's comfort is their top priority. And Bill's Heating was voted best of the best by readers of the Goshen News 3 years in a row. Folks, make sure your heating is safe and ready for this cold winter season ahead. Call Bill's Heating.
We have a final now. Lures beat Marion 42-6, so we won't be in 3A. Chances are we'll be in 4A next week for the IHSA semi-state. Mishawaka with that 21-14 lead on Lowell. Should they hang on, they would entertain Fort Wayne Dwenger at Steel Stadium, and we'd be there for you Friday night at 11 and Saturday morning at 9 on your home for high school sports. TV 46. Don't forget Thanksgiving weekend when you're having those turkey sandwiches. We'll have all 6 games live from Indianapolis of the IHSA state finals.
Been great to team up with the IHSAA for these many years. Had a chance to originate a lot of the games over the years. It's been a great association.
And now Mishawaka extends the lead to 28-14 in that game. Meanwhile, Nino Barbosa with nowhere to run, and he's hauled down at the 22. And the Bremen defense starting to get a sense that they might have a trip to Eastbrook next Friday night themselves. It was Evan Mangus who made the stop.
Outstanding student, outstanding athlete. And early with 11:23 here to go. Bremen not only has a chance to get a stop, but would have the wind at their back.
Whiting making a late substitution. Now Barbosa, Connolly wants to throw. Heaves it out there, and it's intercepted. It's intercepted. Evan Mangus running down the sideline. Evan Mangus is headed to the end zone for a Bremen pick 6 touchdown.
85 yards on the return.
And the Lions are roaring towards the semi-state. The 3rd interception tonight for the Bremen secondary. Wait a minute, though. The officials running back to have a discussion in front of the Whiting sideline, and there's a flag down at about the 40-yard line. So hold everything. And hold everything is what Bremen did on the return, apparently.
And probably unneeded because Mangus rolled right through the 2-man barricade they had set up.
Well, we'll take another look on the Bethel College admissions replay, see what we see. Connolly's heave right into the waiting arms of Mangus.
Would have been
He's
a
got
95
Jake
yarder.
Wonder as a lead blocker here. Wonder moved a couple people out of the way, but there wasn't a hold there. I'm not exactly sure what the penalty was.
What if he maybe called him for pushing in the back? I don't know. If the defender turns around when you're running at him, that's not your fault. Wow, what a play by Evan Mangus.
So they'll spot the ball down at the 49. The big news for Bremen, they squelch the scoring opportunity. And take points off the board. It's 35-13, but Bremen takes over 1st and 10 in Whiting territory at the 49.
10:48 left to go in this one.
Caldwell hangs it off, then Nathan Mullen spinning through tackles, picks up 9 on the play. Barbosa made the hit. Whiting still trying to strip the ball down there, and you can understand why. There's some desperation for the Oilers right now, with 10:30 probably left in their season.
Mullen pulling the mud out of his face mask. 160 yards for Mullen. 29 carries now. Good workhorse doesn't get up to speed until he gets a good sweat going, right?
Could be Mullen, could be Caldwell, could be both of them on the postgame show tonight. Handoff up the middle and a Bremen first down, sponsored by Bremen High School. See who comes out of there with the ball. Looks like it might be Jake Wonder. It was. And Wonder on the carry up to about the 37-yard line.
Wonder with 13 yards. Wogelman with 6. 3 for Stouter. Quarterback Caldwell with 21. All adding to the nearly 200 yards of rushing for Bremen tonight.
And likely to keep it on the ground here for the final 9:38. Up by 3 scores already. Nope, Caldwell's going to roll out and keep it himself this time. And Caldwell slides down at the 30.
Keep the clock moving.
Yep, did not go out of bounds. Very smart play by Caldwell that time.
Picks up 7 yards on the play. He's got 28.
Flags on the play once again, though, so we'll see what this is all about.
Bremen over 200 yards rushing, yeah. 80 yards passing.
Some of the Lions players getting a little upset about these flags here in the 4th quarter.
Keep in mind that Whiting averaging giving up about 6 points a game.
Personal foul called on Bremen, personal foul called on Whiting, and they offset. It'll be on the left of your screen, according to our director, Joe Fertina, tonight. And we'll see if we can track down what happens here. It's Barbosa getting into it with one of the players downfield. And they just kept going at it, and finally Chuck Henry had had enough.
Went over and talked to both coaches. One of the things I really admire about these officials is they'll take time to go talk to the coach and make sure that they understand what the call was and who was involved. Came after the play, so the
down counts.
Down counts, and so does the 7 yards.
Yep. 2nd down, 4 yards to go. Mullen off the right side, has the first down, crashes down to the 22-yard line. He has been the man tonight in the backfield for Bremen.
169 yards on 30 carries.
Oof. Meanwhile, let's go down to the sidelines. Bo Hunt with a Bills Heating sideline report. Now, Bo, I know in a lot of games you played in, the game was done early on, but how many times did you get 30 carries in a game?
I didn't quite get the last part of that question, Chuck.
How many times did you get 30 carries in a game?
Actually, I believe it was about 3 times total, and they happen to be Jimtown games in the playoff. So when it comes playoff time, they're doing the right thing. Give that ball to Mullen, and he's just pounding away, and then you got Caldwell to really offset that with the play action, and he's got some wheels on him as well, and a great arm, man. A team that's destined to do some great things, and they got a little bit more to go before they get to that state finals.
Well, 31 carries tonight for Nathan Mullen, and like Baskin-Robbins, he's come in all kinds of varieties tonight.
Hey, the teams in this game working toward a great finish. So is a team from Imagineering Finishing Technologies. Partners with industries including aerospace, automotive, military and defense, medical, and precision machining. At IFT, quality is a way of life.
Here's Mullen up the middle. Make it 32. And another flag comes in late as things are getting a little chippy down on the field right now. Somebody gave a little forearm shiver. And it's going to be against Whiting. So it's a dead ball personal foul on Whiting. That'll be half the distance to the goal line. And Jeff Kane's going to take a timeout. He is furious with his team and its conduct right now over on the far sideline. So we'll take a timeout as well. 7:49 to go here in the fourth. Bremen on top 35-13 on the 46th game of the week. This edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week is brought to you in part by the Indiana High School Athletic Association, partnering with TV 46 for 29 years. Chuck Freeby, Bob Nagel, Bo Hunt back with you at Don Bunge Field in Bremen. Bremen with a 35-13 lead, 7:49 to go, and the Lions have it first and goal at about the Whiting 7-yard line, and that young man, Nathan Mullen, has been hammering away at the Whiting defense tonight. 32 carries in the football game. And it's Mullen again, running for about 2 yards, and that time running behind a couple of offensive linemen who lined up in the backfield.
Got to protect that guy. Mullen at 179 now for the ball game. Folks, while you're cheering on your favorite team from the stands, know that Thor Industries is your biggest fan. As the largest RV manufacturer in the world, and with 16 Thor companies in northern Indiana, we have a spot for you in our starting lineup. Visit ThorIndustries.com to get started.
It'll be second and goal from the 6. Caldwell comes back to the huddle, and the play clock's down to 7. Bremen's either going to have to burn a timeout or hurry this one up. They just got the snap off in time. It's Mullen off the right side, and he goes forward to about the 3-yard line. Some interesting clock management there by the Lions on that play.
Use it all up. A couple of yards again from Mullen. He's got 181 now. And we are under the 6:40 mark of the fourth quarter. Clock management has been outstanding for Bremen tonight. They have used up a lot of that first drive of the game. 85 yards, 13 plays, 6 minutes and 40 seconds. They had the lead.
But then they managed the 2-minute drill at the end of the first half when they were able to take the 28-7 lead. The snow starting to fly again here at Bunge Field. 3rd and 4. Caldwell's going to lob it towards Mullen in the end zone, and it's broken up nicely out there. It'll be 4th and goal.
And Mullen, he can't seem to do it. Oh.
You get another look courtesy of Bethel College Admissions. Whiting with good coverage on the play that time. Looked like Zach Williamson might have been the cornerback out there covering Mullen.
About the first thing Mullen's been involved with that hasn't gone well tonight. He was a good shot, though. That young man will sleep well tonight. And you know what he wants more than anything else? He wants to win tonight. They like to win the semi-state. They like to win state. But he wants to practice with his buds next week. These guys really enjoy each other, really trust each other.
4th and goal from the 4. Caldwell over the middle. Sam Huffman's 3rd touchdown of the night. 4 TD passes for Ryan Caldwell. 3 of them to the tight end, Sam Huffman. And in the words of Wayne Larrabee, there is your dagger.
6:09 left to go in the ball game, and it's going to be an opportunity for the Bremen fans to really enjoy this one. They're going to be on the road next week, but they're bringing a big, strong, talented, tough team.
Colin Kerr's extra point is up and good. 6:09 to go in this one. And Bremen in complete command, leading 42-13. My, oh my, what a connection Caldwell and Huffman have become here in Mint City.
Yeah, I think Bo Hunt's going to have to interview about at least two people on the post-game interview, Mullen and Caldwell. And you advertise the team as having those two guys you gotta stop. But at this point of the season, that's what we do.
They're a little bit fired up down here, and why not? This team is headed to semi-state. They had a softball team that went all the way to the state finals last year. Honored them at the Riley game that we did on 46. And indeed, that semi-state bound trophy, that's not apocryphal, that's actual.
Look at the smiles on the faces of that team. Boy, so many great efforts tonight. That receiving corps has been outstanding. 6:09 left to go. Bremen with the wind at their back.
So Colin Kerr gets ready to kick it off. Nino Barbosa standing back at his goal line. And Kerr with that line drive kick. Barbosa able to handle this one back at the 2. Well, first chance he's really had to show his stuff tonight, and Bremen still trying to get to him. Barbosa finally goes down on great pursuit by the Lions all the way back at the 8-yard line. Well, for the Whiting Oilers, who came into this one undefeated, what a year it's been. And Jeff Kane said this has been a very special senior class. He knew when they were freshmen that if they stuck together, they'd be able to do great things. Well, they have. They won a sectional this year. They just ran into a better team tonight.
And a team that took advantage of every opportunity. I can't think of more than one or two times in the entire ball game where Bremen did something where you said might not have been a good idea. This is a well-coached team. Congratulations, Coach Leeper. And congratulations to that guy. What a great career he's had, Jeff Kane. 194 and 82 in his career.
And a loss of 2 on that play as the wheels have come off here for Whiting. But Jeff Kane, 25th season. They were state runner-up 3 years ago. They've had 11 straight winning seasons, and he is regarded as a great teacher of players. And if you heard that halftime interview with John Bach talking about how Jeff Kane inspired him to do great things both on the field and in the classroom. 2nd and 12. It's Davenport on the carry this time. He cuts it inside, but Bremen getting good pursuit that time from Evan Mangus. And it looked like somebody else was in on the stop that time. Micah Burkholder that came up and made the hit.
Imagineering Finishing Technologies is an Indiana company that impacts industries worldwide. Over half a century of quality and excellence has made us the industry knowledge source. We support the efforts of the young people in this game. We're working toward the same goal after all, and that is a great finish.
Handoff to one of the inside players that time for Whiting as they give it to Freddie Flores is that Flores? That's 29, yeah, Freddie Flores for his first carry of the game, the 5'7" senior, running out of the slot back position.
Didn't get the first down, though.
It's 4th down, and there's no choice but to go for it. It's all over at Steele Stadium. Mishawaka has beaten Lowell 28-14. It'll be Dwenger and Mishawaka next Friday night on 46 in the semi-state. Nino Barbosa on the carry for Whiting, battling and getting the first down as he pushes the ball out to about the 22-yard line. And Whiting will move the chains with 3:55 left.
Kind of nice that Barbosa went out on that positive carry on the first down. Fans that are still here would give him a nice round of applause. He didn't want to leave the game, though, but
How many yards does he have rushing today?
Got 125. And he has had to really earn most of those tonight because of the way Bremen has played.
That's his 4th 100-yard game of the season. Davenport loses the snap. Now he's looking for a place to run and goes down at the 10-yard line. Wow. Big loss on the play of 12 yards.
Loss of 12 yards on that play. He's down to 17-yard net on the night. They got rid of Barbosa did what he does, but Davenport has struggled tonight.
Well, and the 3 turnovers, the 3 interceptions have been absolute killers for Whiting because Bremen turned each one of those interceptions into points. Flores in motion and movement in the backfield for Whiting. It's a pure night of frustration for the kids from the farthest Northwest Indiana school, the Whiting Oilers.
Yeah, you can't go any further north or west without getting into Illinois or the Lake Michigan. The only thing I regret about that location of Whiting High School, it used to be close to Phil Schmidt's.
Yeah. Can't have everything anymore. Flores in motion. Barbosa takes the snap. He is fun to watch. And a durable player who goes up to the 11-yard line. Picks up about 6 on the play. It'll be 3rd and 21. And the clock continues to tick down towards a Bremen regional championship.
You're down 42-13. You're cold 2 minutes ago. In chess, you can lay your king over and retire.
No, they won't dare do that. Barbosa lining up to take the snap. He'll give it to Flores, and Flores tries to cut through, but he can only get up to about the 15-yard line. It's 4th in the season for Whiting. With 1:32 to go. And we'll see what Jeff Kane decides to do here. It looks like he's lining up Davenport in punt formation. And the punt rolls down to the 48-yard line. And the Bremen Lions are your regional champions. They'll take a couple of victory snaps with 1:09 left and put the cap on this one. You don't get a big trophy like you do in the sectional. You just get that little placard to add to it. But they won't mind a bit here in Mint City tonight.
It's the 5th possession of the ball game for Bremen that they've gotten inside the 50-yard line. Spent most of the night in Whiting territory.
What a job by Ryan Caldwell at quarterback tonight and his running back Nathan Mullen, and they're both down the field for the final snaps of the game. One more will do it. Chuck Henry wants that clock to run. He's cold, so's everybody else. But the folks on the home sideline don't care tonight.
Well, some classy young men on both sides of the ball, and they're talking about it right now, shaking hands and congratulating each other. That bus has been warming up for a while. It's heading back to Whiting, and a lot of the fans have left, but a lot of them are still here, saluting their young men who've represented Whiting High School.
Bremen calls a timeout with 38.4 seconds left, and I think Jordan Leeper just wants to go over protocols with his team and make sure that something untoward doesn't happen here in these last 38.4 seconds.
He's telling them, I think, that when the fireworks go off, don't get nervous.
Well, once again, we want to thank Lori Sumter with Phil Hahn and Associates for sponsoring our Facebook live stream tonight. I know about 300 of you are looking on right now, and we appreciate each and every one of you. as the Lions are about to capture their first regional title since 2011. All they have to do is take one more snap, and that's your ball game right there. The Bremen Lions are the 2018 regional champions in Class 2A and will face Eastbrook at Eastbrook next Friday night in the semi-state after knocking off the Whiting Oilers tonight by a count of 42-13. Now stick around, we've got a lot coming up in our post-game show tonight. It's sponsored by Bellman Oil Company, and we'll have all kinds of things for you, including our IU South Bend Fulfilling the Promise player of the game. In fact, he's with Bo Hunt right now, Nathan Mullen. All right, we'll have to come back to Bo in a moment because the mic's not working down there. Let Nathan shake hands with the boys and come back to you, and we'll come back with our Bellman Oil Company post-game show after this on 46.
The WHME TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week, brought to you by
the Bremen Lions hearing from their assistant coaches and head coach Jordan Leeper as they celebrate a Class 2A regional title tonight with a 42-13 triumph over the Whiting Oilers here at Don Bungie Field. Chuck Freeby and Bob Nagel with you as we join you on the Bellman BP Oil post-game show. And for these Bremen Lions, Bob, at the culmination right now of a season, and it's far from over. They've got Eastbrook next week. But right now, the culmination of a season where they had some high expectations coming in. It's one thing to have high expectations. They've really delivered on that.
Well, when you only lose 2 games during the season and you're playing every team in the conference is rated higher than you are as far as classes go, you have a choice when you get beat. You get down or you learn from it, and I think they learned from it. They knew they were a good team. They knew if they could stay healthy. We've been saying that all season, and here they are 2 steps from maybe winning a state championship in Class 2A. I thought they had the ability to do that from early in the season, and tonight they took on a good Whiting team, an undefeated Whiting team. Was the conference a difference? Yeah, I think it had a lot to do with it, but I think this is just a really talented 2A team. Usually in 2A you look at maybe having 5 or 6 kids that are difference makers. They've got over a dozen of them here at Bremen, and they showed it tonight.
And one of those difference makers is our IU South Bend Fulfilling the Promise player of the game. He's standing by now with Bo Hunt.
Standing by with Nate Mullen now. Nate, just talk about this victory. 3 years ago, you guys played Whiting. They were able to defeat you guys, go on to the state championship. What does it feel to get that so-called revenge tonight?
Feels like really good, actually. I mean, it was a good game. I mean, it might have been a big scoring difference, but it was still a hard-fought game. In the second half, they came back fighting hard, and the first drive we were shut out, but it really means a lot, and I'm glad we got the win for the class of 16 and for us.
Over 30 carries for you tonight. How were you guys able to sustain the running game so well tonight?
The line kept preaching during the game, get some leverage, get some push, and they did that the whole game.
We talk about a 1-2 punch, you and Caldwell. Caldwell threw a bunch of touchdowns tonight as well. Just talk about how great it is to have him back there at quarterback.
It feels good. I mean, now that we got a lot of time in the backfield for him, he's just been doing a great job. Sam Hoffman, Colin Kerr, and Zumbrin have all just been killing it. They're great wide receivers.
Whiting came in here undefeated. You guys play in the NIC North. We talk about how that prepares you guys, our NIC conference. Talk about how that prepares you guys for a sectional, regional, semi-state, state run.
I mean, we're the smallest school in the conference, and it helps a lot. I mean, I don't know what to say, and it's just awesome.
Go celebrate with your classmates, man.
All right, thank you.
Back to you guys.
Well, they are celebrating. Look at the fire trucks going by Bremen High School right now with the sirens on and the ambulances, and the guys just don't want to leave the field. They're making a prayer circle down in the end zone and giving thanks for this victory tonight. And we give thanks to the electrical workers of Local 153 for sponsoring our electrifying play of the game tonight. And actually 2 of them provided by the Bremen defense in the second quarter, Bob. The 2 interceptions that helped turn this game around.
Both wound up giving Bremen a short field, and they were able to take the ball in, especially the time management late in the first half. To go in 28-7 at halftime was an outstanding opportunity, and they just did a great job and were very opportunistic. And they showed, you know, Whiting didn't have much of a passing attack all season. They certainly didn't have one tonight, trying to throw into the wind in that second quarter. And just every situation that could go Bremen's way tonight seemed to go their way. And Chuck, I'm thinking back, you know, when Nate Mullen said that the offensive line was the reason he ran so well. I was out with Don Bungie at practice the other day. He said that offensive line is a feisty bunch. They're quick. So he's very proud of the team, and I think everybody in Bremen feels that way tonight.
By the way, those interceptions by Alex Stouter and Hunter Bennett tonight. So the Bremen Lions move on to take on Eastbrook. They'll be on the road next Friday night for the semi-state. But our TV46 crew always enjoys coming down here to Bremen. They sure wish it was about 50 degrees warmer, don't we all? But Joe Frattino leading the way, Tom Ward running the audio tonight, and the usual cast of characters who help put on our TV46 Game of the Week. We can already make the call. Next Friday night, we will be at Steele Stadium in Mishawaka as the Fort Wayne Dwenger team comes up to take on Keith Kinder's Mishawaka Cavemen. We'll have it for you on Facebook Live, and then Friday night at 11 and Saturday morning at 9. Don't forget college football Saturday afternoon on Pulse FM, IU and Maryland at noon, followed by Purdue and Minnesota at 3:30. Now for my broadcast partners, the Hall of Famers, Bob Nagel and Bo Hunt, it's Chuck Freeby. Once again, the final score. Bremen hands Whiting its first loss of the year, 42-13. The Lions reign as regional champs.